are going to be recording the Zoom tonight, and we will be posting that up on our website and Facebook page, as well as our Instagram page. So if you want to come back and review anything that you might have missed or need some just to hear the answer again, you'll be able to do so. So why don't we go ahead and get started in introductions? Julie, will you please go first and give your name and your title and what department you're with?
Hey everyone, I'm Julie Kerr. I'm the Assistant Director for Housing Operations. And so what that means for y'all is that I'm one of the folks that will help you with getting assigned to a room for the upcoming year, and with any questions you have about that or just general housing things that you want to know about.
Awesome. Jen?
My name is Jen Sharp. I'm one of two assistant directors for Residence Life, and the other person's not on the call, but between the two of us, we do a lot of work with student support, student development, and all that good stuff.
Okay, and we also have a couple of students who currently live with us. Kama, will you go first?
Yeah, hi, I'm Kama. I will be a senior this next year. I'm a pre-med student focusing in neurology. And I will this upcoming year be on the board of directors for the Residence Hall Association, which is a student-led organization here on campus.
Awesome. And Corey?
Hi, I'm Corey. I'm also going to be a senior this upcoming year. I am a sociology and criminology major, and I am one of the resident assistants on campus.
Awesome. Thank you. And then we also have two campus partners that work closely with housing. Kim, why don't you go first?
Hi, y'all. My name is Kim Howe. I work for dining, and I'm so excited to talk about food today and a little bit about the robots behind me.
Awesome. And Kelly?
Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Kelly Jennings, and I'm the parking information specialist in parking and transportation services.
Thank you. Okay, and just as a reminder, for those of you who are just joining us, down at the bottom of your screen or at the top of your screen if you're on a mobile device, is going to be two little thought bubbles with the letters Q and A underneath it. If you click on that, you'll be able to ask questions. I see a few questions that are already starting to jump into the chat. To go ahead and get us started, I'm going to ask the first question for Julie. Julie, what can you tell me about the laundry facilities in the towers? What was specifically asked, but can you talk a little bit about laundry facilities in all of our locations as well as the app?
Yeah, one of the cool things about our housing is that we have laundry is provided. And so what that means for you is that you can do as much laundry as you would like to do. And we would highly encourage you to do as much laundry as you could possibly do. Don't let it pile up for days, but you're able to go down. The laundry rooms, they're in all of our buildings. So all of our residence halls have laundry rooms. They're in some various different places. My two Res Life friends here, students, you guys can probably talk a little bit more about where specifically those are in some of our buildings. I'm not as familiar with exactly where they're located, but we do offer that. There's also an app that you get to download with that comes from the laundry company. And so it'll tell you by looking at it if there's even a laundry washer or a dryer open. So that way, if you're in the tower, you don't take all of your laundry down to the basement only to find out that all of the washers are in use. You can actually see what's available from your room, from the app. And it'll give you a heads up when your washer is finished or when your dryer's finished. And so you can make sure to remember to go down and pick up all of that laundry that you're doing. And so, yeah, if you, Corey or Kim, if you want to talk a little about where some of those are located in the other spaces on campus, I would love that.
Yeah, I can do that. So for laundry, for the tower specifically, it will be in the basement, as well as in Wallace, Wiley, and Gooding Wings. They're also in the basement. In the LLCs, it's a little different. They're on the main floor, which is the first floor. And then the odd ones is Ballard and Stevenson. They will be on the second and fourth floor.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, next question is going to be for Kim. So Kim, there's been a lot of hype about the robots lately, and the question's asking, what do those entail? Is it included with meal plans?
Great question. Yes, meet the newest Vandals on campus. the University of Idaho has food delivery robots. So with your meal plan, you can actually use your dining dollars to pay for robot delivery. It's going to save you on time and convenience, and it's amazing because it just rolls right up to where you're at. You can pick up your food and go where you need to go, whether that's back to studying or doing your laundry or hanging out with your fellow Vandals. So yes, robot delivery is here. Meet the newest Vandals on campus right behind me.
Awesome, thank you. And then question moving on to Kelly. Kelly, somebody's asking about if there's any sort of transportation to some different locations during breaks and whatnot.
That's a great question. We have from Parking and Transportation and the Dean of Students Office what we call the Vandal break bus. So for every academic break that's scheduled for fall, winter, and spring, you can purchase a reservation to have a round trip on the bus with somebody else driving. They pick up outside of the residence halls and then also at Pittman Center. And they leave the Saturday morning after each class period that ends. And they come back the Sunday before classes start again. Routes go to Boise, to Idaho Falls, and we're adding one for sure for fall and winter for Coeur d'Alene that will just go straight from between Moscow and Coeur d'Alene. Those are actually at a severely discounted price compared to last year. So round trip to Coeur d'Alene is $25, round trip to Boise is $80, and round trip to Idaho Falls is $120. And you can also take those just one way.
Thank you. Okay. Jen, we must have a parent on the line because we're being asked if there's any sort of academic resource to help or assistance in the halls.
There is. We have the Student Success Program within the residence halls, which is essentially an academic resource center for all of the students living in the residence halls. We can do some tutoring out of there, some academic coaching, helping students with time management, schedule planning. If they don't know how to get in contact with their advisor, all of that good academic stuff we can work on. So we have 8 academic peer mentors who live in the residence halls. So if you are a first-year student living in one of our first-year communities, you will actually be assigned to an academic peer mentor who will check in with you periodically to make sure you're adjusting to classes okay, see if you have any questions, let you know about other academic resources across campus as well as the SSP. We do events throughout the year. The academic peer mentors do events throughout the year. Yeah, all kinds of academic support we try to provide right here within the residence halls.
Awesome, thank you. Question for our students, which is then going to tie into Kim. Corey, we'll start with you. What is the food like on campus? Is it good? Do you enjoy the food?
Yes. So within the residence halls, there is our main dining facility, the eatery. So this is all you can eat buffet, go as many times as you want, get as much food as you want. Outside of that, we have other dining options as far as the grid with snacks, Chick-fil-A, we have Einstein's for bagels. So anything breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whatever you are wanting, anywhere on campus, there's going to be food.
Awesome. And Kema, what are your thoughts on food?
Yeah, just it's pretty much the same. I know this past semester they added in the eatery a build your own sandwich area, which was really nice. And then the salad bar is also always nice for me.
Awesome, thank you. And Kim, do you want to expand? I know some of our meal plans have changed a little bit this year. Will you talk about the meal plans and kind of what's included with those?
Yeah, so with your meal plan, you get something called meals per week, and those meals are good at the eatery for an all you care to eat experience, just like Corey explained. Within the eatery, we have many different stations. Some of the students' favorite is Student's Choice. We have the deli where you can build your own and customize your own sandwich. We have Kachina. We have a grill, same, customize your own, build your own burger, chicken sandwich. We're going to be adding some new additions moving forward. We also have an allergen-free station, so it's free of the top 8 allergies. So again, that meal set is good at the eatery. You also have something called dining dollars. You can use dining dollars at all Idaho Eats dining locations, including Chick-fil-A, Einstein's, Qdoba, True Burger. You can visit our website to see all the locations. We also have a late night concept called Cravings by Joe. Students love to use their dining dollars there. And something new we introduced this past year to meal plans is something called meal exchange. So what that means, instead of using a meal swipe at the eatery, you can actually use a meal swipe at other Idaho Eats dining locations. You can see all the details on our dining website. Students love it because it's extra added convenience. Because sometimes you just don't have time to like make it down the eatery. You just have to go from class to class. And it's nice to have that extra convenience to use a meal swipe, for example, at Qdoba for a burrito or at True Burger for a burger combo. So yeah, visit our website. I'll put it in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you, Kim. Next question is
Dana's on it.
next question is for Julie. Julie, can you tell me about renter's insurance? Is that something that we recommend or is it not needed?
Yeah, definitely. It is not a requirement, but I would highly recommend that you check that out. So if you students, if you're not really sure what that means, talk to your parents, your guardian about what that could look like. A lot of times students will be covered under their parent or guardian's home insurance, but home insurance tends to have a pretty high deductible. And so if something goes wrong, let's say there's a flood somewhere or something gets stolen or just something happens and some of your property is damaged within the residence halls, you might file a claim with your homeowner's insurance, and then that deductible will be more than what let's say your MacBook's worth. But there are companies out there that work specifically with college students and universities. One company that I've heard of is called GradGuard. They work specifically with college students and know what residence halls look like and what types of damage is normal. There's a lot of companies out there. And so I'd say look into that. It could be worth it if something were to happen, but it's not something that we require that you have or that you show us proof of. But again, it is good to have just in case something were to go wrong.
Thank you. And Jen, question for you kind of about what it's like living in the halls. Do any of the residence halls have kitchens in them?
Yes, we do have kitchens. So if you live anywhere in Wallace, so Gooding, Ballard, Wiley, or Stevenson, there is a kitchen in the basement that gets used a lot. And then in our LLCs, every LLC building has one on the first floor.
Awesome. And McConnell has one too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, McConnell also has one, yeah.
Great, thank you. Okay, another question for Kelly, it looks like. Kelly, I've got a student who wants to bring their car to campus. What can you tell me about parking?
Well, I would first of all like to start with, we hope that you'll consider not bringing your car to campus. It's pretty easy to get around Moscow. There's a free bus service for everyone in town, including students. It stops on campus in 7 different locations. It's called Smart Transit. It's free for everyone. If you are planning to bring your car to campus, it's very, very important this year to purchase your permit online. Those sales will start July 6th. Every single parking space on campus requires some form of payment. And if you're going to live in the residence halls, you will probably, that space will be at a premium. So we want you to purchase that as quickly as you can after July 6th so that we can get it mailed to you before you ever arrive on campus. And it will come with information about exactly where you'll get to park. Those permits for the residence hall students are running $292 this year for silver. And we have an economy lot that's out near the Kibbe Dome that's a little less expensive. It is $88 this year.
Awesome, thank you. And Kema, what are your thoughts? Do you need a car on campus or is it pretty easy to get around to places in Moscow?
So I personally have never had a car on campus. And I found it really easy to get around considering my roommates have always been able to take me to the store, or I have friends on campus that are able to take me. So it has not been that hard at all.
Awesome, thank you. And Corey, what are your thoughts on campus? Do you have a car?
I have my car. I've had my car every single year. My freshman year, I actually purchased an economy parking spot. So it's not too bad of a walk if you're wanting a bit of a discount. I find that the car is more useful if you plan on doing things more often outside of Moscow. So if you're going to Walmart, you can use the bus, you can use our smart transit system, you can have your roommate bring you. Downtown is super close, so if you're wanting to go get something to eat, it's really not that far of a walk. But if you like to go adventure or you live close enough to home, it might be beneficial for you.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, another question. Looks like some people asking about kind of what it's like living in Moscow. So why don't we go ahead and go around, and I'll start us off with what your favorite thing to do in Moscow is. For me, my favorite thing to do is to go to the farmers market, which is Saturdays. It ends in the fall and then starts up again in the springtime. But it's just fantastic because we've got a lot of different vendors, from food to food trucks and a bunch of other things, and it's just a great time. So Julie, what are your favorite things to do?
I just moved here last fall, and so I'm really enjoying that there's such a variety of things to do. So I really like to be outside and mountain biking, hiking, that camping, those kind of things. That is right outside of town. It's easy to get to. And then finding that there's a lot of live music and things to do in the evenings around town as well. And so getting to really check out just a variety of different things that Moscow has to offer.
Awesome. Jen, how about you? What's your favorite thing to do?
I love that Moscow is an arts district, like all of Moscow is an arts district. So like Julie said, there's always live music, but there are little dance groups around. They do a art walk every year. There's a couple of art galleries. There's like poetry readings. You can find all kinds of stuff like that, all the artsy things all year round, even in the summer.
Absolutely. Kayma, how about you? What's your favorite thing to do from a student perspective?
So on campus, I love going to the Arboretum. It's kind of a nice, peaceful place to go when you're stressed out with classes. And then off campus, just the food, like trying to find which places are the best is always a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And for the record, what is your favorite place to eat?
I like the Varsity Diner, even though a lot of people don't, but I like it.
Okay. Corey, what about you? What's your favorite thing to do on campus?
Mine definitely has to be food. So on campus, there's plenty of options. And again, with downtown being so close, it's very nice to just be able to go, even on the weekends, and go get something to eat. And with such a variety, from Gambino's Italian to Greek to Chinese, there's always something that is available at any given time.
Awesome. Kim, how about you?
I'll have to follow what our students say. Food is my love language. My husband and I love to eat. We're eaters and drinkers. So you'll see us on a patio. You'll see us shopping. Yeah, we just enjoy eating.
Awesome. And Kelly, how about you?
I'm a longtime fan of the farmers market. I also, when I want to get out of town, I love to go a little bit north to Phillips Farm Regional Park. There's some great trails to walk around. The birding is really great, depending on the season.
That's awesome. Yeah, the Phillips Farm is definitely a great place to go and walk around. Okay, next question for Julie. Julie, we've got somebody coming from out of state, and they were wondering if there were storage units on campus.
Yeah, we don't have specific storage units for students, but there's, depending on which building you're living in, there's quite a bit of storage space, especially if you're in the Wallace Residence Center. There's a lot of storage in those areas. If you're in Tower or one of the other spaces, students get creative. You can turn your storage tub into a place to sit. You can use it for other things. And so people don't bring as much as you think you should. Maybe pare down a little bit, because you are sharing, more likely than not, you're sharing a room with someone else. And even if you have the room to yourself, you're not going to want it cluttered with a bunch of stuff. So there is room for all the things that you need. There just may not be room for every single thing that you want to bring.
And there are a couple of off-campus storage units available as well. If you type into Google Moscow, Idaho storage, you should get some good options to look at as well. Okay, next question. Jen, what can you tell me about student staff? So I'm speaking specifically about resident assistants.
We have resident assistants assigned to every hall that we're in. There's multiple, usually it's one resident assistant for every floor, except in the LFCs with our upper class students, we have 2 floors to a resident assistant, but they are here to help you transition to college, whether you are new to campus or not. They will host events for you. They will help you meet your neighbors. They will point you in the right direction if you have a question about anything on campus. They have been students on campus, and we have taught them a lot about campus that they maybe didn't already know. So they are well equipped to really answer any questions that you might have. If they can't answer a question, they are very good at pointing you to who can answer that question or getting an answer back to you later. So yeah, any roommate issues or concerns, if you're homesick, struggling with classes, all that kind of stuff.
Awesome, thank you. It looks like we have about 7 minutes left in this webinar. So if you do have any questions that you still want to ask, please use the little Q&A function at the bottom or the top of your screen, depending on your device. And you can go ahead and type us some questions that we can answer. But the next question that's gonna be coming out is gonna be coming to Kim. Kim, can you give a little bit more clarification on dining dollars and where those work?
Yeah, your dining dollars work just like a debit card. It's declining balance money that you can use at all Idaho Eats dining locations. So that could be Chick-fil-A. A lot of students like to use their money for that. It could be at Einstein's, Qdoba. We have a new coffee location coming to campus called Brew Bike. You'll be able to use it at Brew Bike. You can use it at the market. The market is stock full. When I say stock full, like so much variety of convenience items like toiletries and snacks. And there's great sushi in there. We have a sushi chef that works for us during the school year, and they hand roll everything fresh every day. So your dining dollars are perfect for those. You can also use your dining dollars, like I said, on Starship for robot food delivery, and you can use your dining dollars on Boost. So Boost is another way to skip the line on campus. So you can order your meal ahead of time, you pay ahead, and then your food will be ready for you during your specific time slot. You just pick it up and go to your next class or go wherever you need to go.
Yeah,
that's a long-winded answer.
Absolutely, thanks, Kim. Kelly, we've got a student who was looking in our move-in guide, which is available online, and they saw about airport shuttles. What can you tell me about the airport shuttle?
Oh, I'm very excited to talk about airport shuttles. We don't often get good transportation between campus and the Pullman Moscow Regional Airport, but this fall we will have them. We will have a free bus that we are taking reservations for in advance. It will run from Monday, August the 15th until Sunday, August 21st. It will travel only between the airport and campus, so it won't drop you to any place else, but it will bring you to campus and it will stop at any of the residence halls. So if you're interested in requesting a ride, we will accommodate daytime flights. There's a very late night flight that's just ahead of midnight that we won't be able to help with, but the other 3 flights that arrive every day, we will be able to transport from those unless we fill up. So I will post the link to that webpage in the chat for everybody.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, Julia, a question for you. We've got some students who may need some accommodations. Can you talk a little bit about what the accommodation process is and working with CDAR?
Yeah, we have a very close relationship with CDAR, with our campus area that helps with different types of accommodations, anything housing related. So it may be a medical issue, an emotional support animal, a service animal, something where you need, maybe you need a specific type of space to live in that is a roll-in shower, perhaps you're in a wheelchair, or something along those lines. And so that department will help with making sure those accommodations are met. We want all of our students to have a great experience while they're here. And so part of that is being in a living space that accommodates your different types of needs. And so we would recommend that you connect with CDAR, and we'll put that contact information in the chat so that you can get in touch with them. And they have a process that they go through. There's some paperwork and information that's needed from a medical provider, and they'll help to assess what the best living situation will be for you. And then we'll work closely with them to make sure we match that. And so we do a ton of those. So if you have any questions that are specific, because each accommodation is a little bit different. So if you have specific questions, you can reach out to us, or you can reach out to CDAR, and they or us will help get those answered for you.
Awesome, thank you. And it looks like we've got time for just a couple more questions here. So the next question is going to be about the bedding set that RHA does help promote. So I'm actually going to ask this one again to Julie. Julie, if the bedding set is ordered, can it be mailed to campus so that it's ready when students arrive?
That is a very good question that I am not 100% sure on the answer to.
Okay.
You would give me the last question of the day without an answer.
The answer is yes. If you order
Okay,
the bedding
good. I'm
set,
glad you know.
it automatically ships it to campus.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. There are a few links in the chat session. If you have questions that haven't been answered yet, please feel free to reach out to us one of three ways. The first way is going to be join us for our second session at 7:15. It is going to be a different link, so you will have to jump out and then jump into that session. The other ways that you can reach us, and I'll have Daniel put it into the chat for us, which is going to be through giving housing or housing office a call, or also sending us an email at housing@uidaho.edu. And then if you are wanting some more information on some of the different residence halls, or if you want to find our recording of tonight's session, you will be able to do so at uidaho.edu/housing. And it'll probably be about 24 hours before we have the video up online. So please be patient with us as we get things put online. And it looks like Daniel has added the website as well as our email so that you can contact us. And once again, I'd like to thank you all for joining us tonight, and go Vandals. And we also have two of our campus partners with us. Kelly, will you please introduce yourself?
Sure, I'd love to. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the evening. My name is Kelly Jennings. I work for Parking and Transportation Services, and I'm here to help answer all things parking and transportation for you.
Great. And Kim, how about you?
Hi, y'all. My name is Kim Howe. I support dining with marketing, and I'm so excited to talk all things food and robot delivery tonight.
Awesome. And then we also have Daniel in the background, who is helping type some answers if we don't have a chance to ask questions on live. And so please feel free. I see a few questions that are starting to come in. The first question that we're going to start with is going to be for Kim. Kim, can you please tell me about what the robots are? I have somebody saying that they saw them on Facebook and they're just curious about kind of what that entails.
Facebook or Instagram, Nick?
Facebook specifically.
Okay. Yes, University of Idaho is the first university in the state to offer robot food delivery. So right now is the greatest time to become a Vandal because you can have your food delivered to you anywhere on campus. It's kind of mind-blowing. And the best part, if you're on a meal plan, you can use your dining dollars to have your food delivered to you through robot delivery. So it's a great time to be a Vandal. We just introduced it a few months ago. Students love them. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, very exciting.
Awesome, thank you. Julie, we have a question about roommates in the chat. So we have a student who has reached out to a few of their roommates, or sorry, to their roommate, and the roommate hasn't responded yet. Is there any way else to contact them besides their school email?
Well, school email is always a good first stop. But if you and your roommate are like most college students, you probably don't, or most future college students, you probably don't check your email all that often, which, side note, please check your email all that often. But in reality, to connect with your roommate, a good way to do that is to look them up on whatever social media platforms you use, because that is where most of our students are hanging out. That is the form of communication that I think most students use. But once you get here, we will be sending out a lot of official information about your housing or about how to get mail. If you want to get a letter from someone back home, it's a good idea to pay attention to your Vandal email so that you can see all the fun information that we're sending out. And maybe you'll get to connect with that roommate that sent you a message a month ago and is trying to get in touch with you and find out who you are and if you guys will fit as good roommates. So if email's not working, try social media. You'll have probably much better luck.
Absolutely. I know a lot of students are on social media these days, so that's great. Thanks, Julie. Okay, a question for Kelly. Kelly, what can you tell me about parking on campus?
I would love to talk about parking on campus. We are expecting that parking spaces for students in housing and residence life are likely to sell out before the semester ever starts. So parking permits go on sale online July the 6th. Silver permits, which are the spaces that are located nearest the residence halls, are selling this year for $292. There's also an option in an economy parking lot for $88. It's a little bit further away, but it's certainly a way to save some money. Also, we hope that you'll consider not bringing your vehicle to campus. That's pretty easy to get around town. There's the Smart Transit bus that's free for everyone, including students. It has 7 stops on campus, including right outside residence halls. And it's easy to get to all kinds of locations, including Walmart, over near Target, to other grocery stores, and pretty easy to move around that way and to even get downtown.
Awesome. And let's get this student perspective on needing your car or not. Kayma, what are your thoughts? Do you need a car on campus?
So I have been here going on to my 3rd year, and I have never had my car up here. I find it really easy to get around, especially since I've been fortunate enough to have roommates that have cars that can drive me around. And I live out of state, so it's kind of a hassle to bring it up at times.
Awesome. Corey, what about you? Do you have a car on campus?
I do have a car on campus. So my freshman year, I parked in economy. It really is not that far of a walk, and it is a great discount. I find it helpful to get around places kind of whenever you're needing to. But again, the stores aren't that far, downtown isn't that far. So if you're not needing a car, I recommend at least trying the semester without one. And then when you go home for break, if you find that you're really wanting it, no harm, no foul, you can try and bring one up.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, and it looks like we have a parent that's also online. Jen, can you talk a little bit about, they're asking specifically about what academic resources are available within the residence halls?
Yes, there are tons of academic resources all across campus, but specifically in the residence halls, we have the Student Success Program, which is our own academic resource center. It's just below the eatery, so students will be very familiar with where it is if they know where the eatery is, in the Wallace building. And we could do tutoring for classes, we can do time management help, some academic coaching, answer all those random questions if you don't know how to get in touch with your advisor, or you're not sure how to register for classes, things like that we can help with. We do have a great relationship with other academic resources across campus, so we might point you in that direction for specific things, but we're also open a little bit later than any of the other academic resource centers on campus, so that's nice for students too. We also have 8 academic peer mentors, so if you live in any of our first year halls, you'll actually be assigned to one of those academic peer mentors, and periodically throughout the year, they'll check in with you to make sure you're feeling okay with your classes, see if there's anything we can do to help you out.
Awesome, that's great. Thank you. Okay, another question for Kim. Kim, what can you tell me about the meal plans? I know that they've had a few changes this year. What are your thoughts on, or not thoughts necessarily, but what can you tell me about the meal plans?
Yeah, so meal plans will look a little bit different this year. We went to all weekly meal plans based off of students' feedback. So your meals are good at the eatery for an all-you-care-to-eat dining experience. Your dining dollars are good at all Idaho Eats dining locations, and it's perfect for an occasional coffee or Chick-fil-A, because, you know, students love Chick-fil-A. And something new we introduced this past year is called meal exchange. And what that means is instead of using a meal swipe at the eatery, you can actually use a meal swipe at other Idaho Eats dining locations. Because sometimes life gets in the way and you're studying and you don't have time to go to the eatery. So instead you can just pop over to Qdoba for a burrito, or pop up to Einstein's for a bagel sandwich. So that's a high-level overview of the meal plans. I'll drop a link in the link in the chat, and you can understand more about it there.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, Julie, a question for you. How do students sign up for their move-in time slot?
Yeah, so what you'll do is go back to that same place you signed up for housing and got your meal plan all scheduled. I want housing at uidaho.edu. Go over there and there will be a section under my housing to sign up for a move-in time slot. If you, for some reason, don't see a time slot that works within your schedule, which that'll probably be pretty rare because there are more than enough time slots for everyone. But if you happen to have a conflict or you're not seeing something that will work within your schedule, please send us an email and we'll help work with you on getting you set up because we really do need everyone to sign up for a time slot. That helps us prepare in the best way possible so that you have a smooth transition when you move in. We know you're going to be carrying a lot of heavy boxes, and so we don't want you to be stuck in line for a long period of time. So that's why we have all these time slots set up. So that way we can help coordinate a nice, smooth process of getting you checked in and all settled into your new room.
Awesome. And students will be seeing an email by end of day tomorrow with information on how they can sign up, as well as Daniel just placed it into the chat. Just a reminder, if you do have any questions, please add them into the question and answer, which is going to be 2 little thought bubbles at the bottom or top of your screen, depending on your device. And it's a great way for us to know that you have a question. Okay, the next question that we've got is for our student staff. Corey, tell me about the food. How is the food on campus?
So I enjoy the food. As Kim was saying, our eatery is our main dining option. Again, this is all you can eat buffet. So as much as you'd like to go back and get more, I really enjoy it. And then throughout campus, there are other dining options. As Kim was saying, we have Qdoba, we have Chick-fil-A, we have Joe's for burgers, Einstein's for bagels. We have different coffee places throughout campus. So wherever you are, if you're hungry, there's definitely multiple options.
Kama, what are your thoughts? Where do you like to eat on campus?
So my favorite places to eat is the eatery, just because of the sandwiches. I really like making a sandwich and it's quick and easy. Or I like going to Joe's at night because it's open super late, which is a great option for me because I'm a night owl.
Awesome. And this question is going to be for everybody, and I'll start us out. We are getting asked what it's like to live in Moscow and what is kind of our favorite things to do. So for me, my favorite thing is to go to the farmer's market. It runs from the spring through the fall, and it's just a great time. There's a lot of different vendors out, a lot of whether you want veggie stands or a food truck, or to look at some of the different art that they have for sale and whatnot. It's just a great time. Julie, how about you? What is your favorite thing to do?
I love being outside and getting to do things like camping, mountain biking, hiking, all those things. And they are really close to the city. And so it's easy to get there to go enjoy the lake or enjoy a mountain bike trail. And so I definitely enjoy doing those things, along with there's a lot of variety in this town. So anywhere from live music to going out for a hike with friends, a lot of fun to do.
Jen, how about you?
If you like trivia, there are several places at Moscow that do trivia nights, and one of them downtown actually serves like food and ice cream and coffee, and they have a wide selection of board games that you can borrow while you're there. So that's a really fun place to hang out. That's a decent walk from campus.
Awesome. Kama, how about you?
One of the places that a lot of my friends and I like to go to is Grub Truck. It's, I think, open Wednesday through Saturday, but it's super late and you can go get mac and cheese super late at night and it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. And Corey?
Mine definitely has to be food. Again, with downtown being so close, there's a bunch of different options that are definitely within walkable distance, from Gambino's and Italian to Chinese to Greek to Thai. There's all kinds of different options throughout Moscow.
Awesome. Kelly?
Between the farmer's market and all the food you guys are talking about, I actually really enjoy getting out and walking the trails, pretty easy trails at Phillips Farm Regional Park, a little bit north of town. I'm a bird watcher and I like to be there and kind of check out what's going on.
Awesome. And Ken, how about you?
Everything. all these, what everybody said. I like a little bit of everything. I like the food. I like spending time on the water. People are so friendly in Moscow. It's just nice just to walk around because people are just so nice. All the things.
Awesome. And Julie, a question for you. I know you're a mountain biker. Are there places to store bikes within the residence halls?
There are. We have bike storage on campus that you can register your bike and store it there. I believe, and Kelly might be able to speak a little bit to this as well. Their parking and transportation are looking at doing some bike rentals coming up for the fall. So if you maybe didn't bring a bike with you, there'd be an opportunity for you to rent one to use and get nice, easy transportation around campus. But yeah, definitely. We are a very bikeable campus. And when you're here in the fall, you will see bikes everywhere.
Awesome. Kelly, do you have anything to add on the bike rentals?
I would love to talk about that. Yes, there are plenty of places to park on campus for your bike. There are over 2,500 spots for bikes. There also are 3 different stations that have pumps and or tools so that you can keep your tires full. In terms of bikes for anyone who doesn't have one, a new option for freshmen this year is to contact our department and let us know that you're interested in a Vandal bike. For the price of a parking permit, we will basically rent you a bike for the year. You would make a deposit equal to a parking permit. It would prevent you from purchasing a parking permit. This is specifically for students who won't be bringing a vehicle to campus. And the bike rental includes servicing at a local bike shop. And as long as you return it in decent condition, just with normal wear and tear, you would get your deposit back at the end of the year. If you do that 2 years in a row, we will actually give you the bike at the end of the second year.
I just saw the bikes the other day. They're actually really nice bikes too. They're pretty cool looking.
They are.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. Jen might be the best one for this. Oh, Daniel's answering it through the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and skip that question. Kelly, back to you. We have a couple of questions on how motorcycle parking works, just some clarification. Could you talk about that a little bit more?
Sure, I'm happy to talk about that. Motorcycles are the one way, other than bicycles, that you can use a motorized vehicle on campus and not have to pay for parking. So there are many, many motorcycle parking spaces on campus, and they do not require a permit. So that is a great way to get around if you're here. And that, I think that pretty much takes care of that.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, a question for our 2 students that are on here. Which residence hall would you recommend and why? It looks like we have at least one person on the call who has not yet decided where they're going to live next year.
I can start. So I have lived in Wallace the last 2 years. I prefer it for a first year student because it has the most storage. You also get your own bathroom with obviously your suite mates, but I brought a lot of stuff to school, so it was a good place for me to make sure that everything was fit very well. And it was close to eatery, so when it got like super cold out, you didn't really have to walk outside of your house. And then for the upperclassmen, I recommend the LLCs because it's a little bit more of like an apartment style, and it feels more grown up, I guess.
Awesome, thank you. Corey, same question to you.
Yes, so I have lived in the 3 main residence halls as far as Wallace, Tower, and the LLCs. For freshmen, I would recommend the Tower. I think it's a fantastic way. They usually do a great job of building community as far as getting to know the people on your floor, getting to know the people on the other floors, all the events that they hold. I think it's a fantastic community to live. And then agreeing with Kayma, I think for upperclassmen, the LLCs are our best option. Again, it's very apartment style and gets you ready to kind of transition from college into the real world.
If I unmute myself, looks like we have a couple of nervous students that'll be joining us this fall. Jen, can you talk a little bit about a resource for the students that lives on each floor for students to kind of get to know some people on campus?
Yes, so within Housing Residence Life, we have several student staff that are trained just to help you make that transition to college, or to welcome you back if you're a returning student. So we have multiple resident assistants living in every single one of our buildings, whether you're upper class or first year, and they are really just there. They go on rounds during the night. They hold a duty phone, so if you get locked out of your room late at night, they can help you with that. They can answer all kinds of questions about campus, and we give them more and more information throughout the year. They go through a lot of training to make sure they're able to answer all the questions you have. And if they ever can't answer a question, they know exactly where to help you find the answer. And then I mentioned the academic peer mentors earlier. So those students live in our halls. And then we even have programming coordinators who will put on extra events for you throughout the year. So you'll always have something to do. You'll always have someone to ask questions to. We'll always have someone there for you.
Okay. Here is a great question that we will also typically have. So I'm going to have, let's have Kema answer this one. Kema, is there a curfew for being in the residence halls or anything like that? Is anybody knocking on your door to ask if you're in there or not?
There is not. The only thing that we do have is quiet hours. So on the weekdays after 11 o'clock, we require you to be quiet because those are times people are sleeping. And then on the weekends it's 12 o'clock. But other than that, you can roam freely and there isn't any like rules against roaming.
Absolutely. Great. Yeah, when you come to college, you're expected to act like an adult and we treat you like an adult. So there is no requirements. That's one of the nice things about being able to move into the residence halls. Okay. Next question, Julie, for you. Can you talk about laundry a little bit? We've got a student here that heard that that it's free and that there's an app. Can you confirm that? It's kind of hard to believe that we offer free laundry.
Well, lucky for you, we do. We have laundry facilities in all of our residence halls that are free to use. And so you can use them as much as you want, and we would encourage you to use them probably more than you think you should. Wash that laundry. Don't let it pile up in your room. Your roommate's not going to be happy with your stinky socks laying around. So do your laundry. Make sure to bring like laundry detergent and those types of things with you. We don't provide that part, but we do provide the washers and the water. So bring the soap with you and do as much laundry as you want. You're also correct. There is an app. You'll download that on your phone, and the app is great because it'll tell you if there's a washer or dryer ready for you. So if you live in a tower and you're up on that top floor, you don't want to carry your laundry all the way down to the laundry room just to find out that all of the washers are full. So you're able to check the app and to see that there is one available or two available. You can head down, put your stuff in, and the app will actually notify you when the washing machine is done with its cycle. And then you can go back down there, switch that over to the dryer, and same thing with the dryer. It'll let you know when that's done, which is great. So you hopefully will not forget your laundry down there for days at a time, which does happen on occasion. We don't recommend that. Go and pick your stuff up as soon as it's done. But yeah, it's a really cool app to use. And again, do your laundry. It's free. You might as well use it.
Awesome. Thank you, Julie. And Kelly, I've got a question for you. I saw you typed the answer to somebody. Can you talk about how to get a bike permit and kind of what that entails? Is there a cost to it?
That's a great question. I'm happy to talk about that. The Parking and Transportation Services Office is happy to pay for the cost of your registration for your bike. If you will bring your bike over to our office, which is located inside the Intermodal Transit Center at 1006 Railroad Street on campus, we will give you a form to fill out. We will attach a sticker to your bike. We'll give you a copy of it, and we'll also forward your registration to the Moscow Police Department, and the registration's on us. We're happy to do it.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. And we've got another question about laundry for Kema or Corey. Do you know what the app is named? Otherwise, I can have somebody look it up here quickly.
Yeah, it's called Laundry View.
Awesome. And I believe when you go into it, you select the University of Idaho, and then you can select which residence hall you're living in. Okay. Okay, next question. that we've got here is going to be another food question. Kim, what are the typical hours of eating? Is it kind of an all day? Are there options? Are there options late in the evening? I know it was touched on a little bit earlier, but I think some clarification would be good.
Great question. So the eatery opens at 7 a.m. And we have hot meal periods throughout the day. I can or cannot deny that we might have continuous dining next fall. It's still being decided, but we are going to offer later dining hours at the eatery. So instead of closing at 7, it might be closing at 7:30 or 8 moving forward. Again, still hasn't been decided, but we heard from students that the eatery needs to be open later. We have a late night dining option on campus, so it's called Cravings by Joe. It closes at 11 p.m. So those night owls who like a late night snack, you can get chicken tenders and French fries. You can get pizza. All the good greasy food is there for all your late night cravings. Einstein's also opens at 7 a.m. So for those who can't make it to the eatery, you can grab their coffee and bagel on the run.
Awesome. And it looks like we are just about out of time here. We've got about 2 more minutes. So if you do have any questions that didn't get answered here, please feel free to send us an email. I'm going to have Daniel go ahead and enter that email in the chat, which is housing@uidaho.edu. Again, that's housing@uidaho.edu. And then if you have anything that you want to know in terms of what your residence hall might look like or other things related to housing or even signing up for that move-in time slot, please feel free to visit us at uidaho.edu/housing. Again, that's uidaho.edu/housing, and I'll have Daniel put that one in the chat as well. Also, feel free to connect with Idaho Eats or Kelly if you have trouble remembering with Kelly and parking and transportation. If you have trouble remembering any of our emails or whatnot, just remember the housing@uidaho.edu, and we'll be sure to send your email to the correct department so that it can get answered. Otherwise, I'd really like to thank you all for joining us tonight. I just want to say welcome to the Vandal family and go Vandals.